All right, Forest fans, Max Newton here on Talk Forest TV. Hit that like, comment and subscribe button. Giving you a quick post-match review of Nottingham Forest 0, Arsenal 0 at the world-famous City Ground under the lights. A good point, I think. I think a good point, and I think the game played out exactly how we expected it to, and the game plan worked really well, nearly worked perfectly. You know, I thought we started off well. I thought it was brave of Nuno to start the same team that started against Newcastle, given the performance in the first half against Newcastle. But I don't think anybody let us down, which was really great to see. I think a lot of players redeemed themselves. And, we started off the game really well, looked quite dangerous, particularly down the flanks. Some good half chances and crosses going in. And then the game, after about 10-15 minutes, I thought settled into a bit of a pattern of Arsenal having a lot of the ball and us breaking. But, in the first half, the only chance of any description that Arsenal had for all their possession was when I think Calafiori hit the post, so not a shot on target. He absolutely sent Dominguez to the shops for some cheese and biscuits in the box and got a shot in. Bounced into Matt Salzer's grateful arms. But apart from that, Arsenal, did nothing for all the possession. They did nothing. Callum Hudson-Odoi had some great runs down either wing. One down the right wing when then cut into the box in front of Lower Bridgeford and was brought down. Big penalty shout. Not even held up to have a look at it. Obviously, really difficult for us to see. We're in the Trent and Lower, and not seen it at all on telly, so I don't know. But yeah, it's surprising not to even delay the restart to look at it, I thought. But yeah, let me know if it was a penalty or not. Second half, I thought Arsenal came out and Arsenal played really well. They were on the front foot. They had a lot of possession and a lot of pressure and a lot of corners. It felt like they had 20 corners. I was surprised when I got to the big shed, big up the big shed, and saw that they'd only had 11 corners. For like 10-15 minutes. And really, I think Arsenal had packed the midfield. They haven't got a striker. They played three at the back, and their keeper was on the halfway line or an hour and a half a lot of the time. And in the second half, it nearly bit them on the bum. When we made a bit of a quick break, and I think Anderson played the ball up to Chris Wood, and his first touch just let him down a little bit. But you know what? That sort of half chance there, and that half chance where Anderson again made a brilliant break down the left wing and got almost right to the byline before pulling it all the way across for Callum Hudson-Odoi, who was sprinting like a beaver to get up there at the back post, and the ball was just ahead of him, just out of reach. And we grabbed one of those two chances, and all of a sudden we're saying, classic Forest, game plan worked, absolute perfection, and there we go. So the crowd got a bit frustrated, I think, in the second half when Arsenal had all the possession, and there's a few times when we were defending where we just cleared it, and there was a few groans and whatnot. But you know what? There was times in the first half where we tried to play it out from the back and failed to do so, and then everybody was moaning that just clear it. Why don't you just clear it? So you can't win sometimes as a footballer. But yeah, Arsenal turned out they only had 11 corners. It felt like a lot more. But, there's only, for all of their corners and all of their, all their players stood all the way over here and running in, they only had one shot on target in the entire game. And that came from a corner that Matt Sells saved brilliantly. So you know what? Really disappointed with Arsenal, because they've still got, they've got £100 million midfield player, and he's not even their best midfield player. And yet, they're basically Wimbledon. They're basically 1980s Wimbledon. They're rotating fouls on our players so that they don't get booked. They're diving. They're feigning injury. They're shithousing. The amount of times when somebody's down and you think, and then he's up because they're on the attack again. And the only attacking threat is set pieces. They're a set piece team. It's shocking. Really, Arteta's taken that team backwards big time. But they've still got good players in the midfield and in defence. So I think a good point in the end for Forest. Played well. I think made a difference to how the dynamics of the game and the momentum in the game when Nuno made the subs, when he brought on Danilo and Ryan Yates for Elanga and Nicolas Dominguez. I would have liked to see Yates start the match because I think his physicality in the middle of the pitch we missed in the Newcastle game and the Fulham game. So I think it made a difference. And you know what? He put his head in there when there was a high boot. And I don't know if there's any of the players that would have put his head in there and won as a free kick on the edge of the box. And that would have been worth an assist for that. So I thought Ryan Yates had a really excellent and made an impact in the game. I thought Danilo played well as well. What a bit disappointing throughout the game was that all the second balls and all the loose balls seemed to be picked up by Arsenal players and not picked up by Forest players. So yeah, in the end, a really good point. Our first 0-0 in the entire season. Who'd have thought for a team that doesn't score many goals and loves clean sheets that it would be whatever game this is by the time we've got a 0-0 and we've had a 7-0 win and a 4-3 loss and a 3-2 win. We've had just about every other possible result apart from a 0-0. You know what? I think after the goals we've shipped in our away games, and especially in the last two, and the way teams have been able to play through us, I think it's just good to get back to being difficult to beat, compact, hard to break down, low XG, if you believe in that sort of nonsense, that sort of shit. But, low XG against us. Arsenal's XG in open play was the same as our XG in open play. They're a set piece team. So yeah, all in all, happy. The maker of the cobs, Linda Newton, was here tonight, so big shout out. Excellent cobs tonight. Really top quality cheese and beetroot cobs. So see you on Monday for Ipswich. Come on, you Reds.